Chapter 12, Daddy Issues. The next day, you're on the Blades charter bus, headed for Casey's hometown of Portland. You're sitting with a t-shirt at the front of the bus, but you can't help glancing back. Casey stares at a window near the back of the bus, his expression stormy. Ever since Brent mentioned Casey's dad, he's been in a terrible mood. You slide out of your seat and squeeze down the aisle. Even with the threat of the camera, the team is still pretty rowdy. I don't think coming home would put you so much on edge. Slide in the seat next to him and lean just enough so your shoulders are touching, though your body longs for more. Sorry, coming home is complicated for me. I picked up on that. But I could use some more details. And I don't mean for the image stuff or the clips for film. I want to be there for you if I can. The way he looks at you as if he's finally ready to trust you, there's a mix of yearning and hope fluttering in your chest. I appreciate that. I'm doing my best to let you. He lets out a heavy breath that leans closer so he can talk over the excited yells of his teammates. There's a reason I don't talk much about my personal life in the media. It brings nothing but grief to the people I've let down and to me. You're one of the best players in the league. Who could you have possibly let down? Let me lay it out for you. The last time I played against the Polars, I got into one of the biggest fights of my career, but it wasn't just a fight. It was personal. Think you're a big star now, playing for the Blades? We'd grown up together here, always dreamed of playing side by side on the ice. For our home team, the Portland Polars. But plans changed. We grew up, grew apart. He signed with the Polars, I signed with the Blades. What do you want from me, Bobby? I want to settle the score, here and now. At first, I tried to shake him off. Then I noticed my old man in the stands, dressed in Portland colors, cheering on my enemy team. Nothing but a letdown! Go back to Seattle! If the old man wants a letdown, I'll give him one. That's the fight that cost us the championship last year. Bobby and my old man, they got to me. The resignation in his voice lights a fire in you. You glance around the bus, but no one's watching. You might as well be alone. And because you can't bear not to touch him in the moment, when he's laying his icy heart bare for you, you reach for him. You cup the smooth line of his jaw, tilting his head so he's forced to meet your fierce gaze. Listen to me. His warm skin beneath your fingertips anchors you, the usual spark of electricity between you somehow stronger in adversity. Casey. Parents don't always support their kids, even if it's for their best. He's never forgiven me for signing with the Blades. That's ridiculous. That can't be the only reason you don't get along. It's not. Just one of the many straws on the camel's back. But I get it, from a distance. In my old man's mind, I left him behind. I was supposed to come home, use my talent to lift up the team he raised me to be loyal to. So what? You don't get a choice in what your life is supposed to look like? You'd understand if you met him. The team cheers as the bus pulls off the freeway and into the parking lot of the hotel, the sound jarring you back to the present. As everyone piles in the lobby, you gently reach out and lay a hand on his arm, holding him back. This game, it's going to test you in ways you haven't prepared for, not since we started working together on your image. I know. His words are short, clipped, but you can tell it's the nervous energy rattling through him, rather than any real anger. You take his hand, warming it between yours, hoping to soothe him. You can almost feel his pulse slow as he focuses on your touch. Casey, about tonight. Don't risk your reputation over an old grudge. You take a gamble, opting for the tough love approach. Casey watches you, his shrewd gaze almost appreciative in your directness. It's not like I planned on it, but you're right. If I want to get through this without pissing off management, I need to be on my game. Exactly. Proactive, not reactive. Keep calling me out on my BS, Clark. I think I like it. We got plenty of time before you need to be at the rink. Why don't we do something to get your mind off the game? He sweeps his gaze over you, and from the way he lingers, you can tell he has other ideas. Plenty of ways to kill some time. Should we start in the hotel room? The thought of spending the day in bed with Casey, imagining his bare skin against your sheets, fills you with dangerous desire. Too many people around, too risky. Besides, you don't want to waste your stamina on me before the big game. I take offense to the idea my stamina has a limit, but if you're up for a hike, there is a place I want to show you. The softness in his gaze that reaches deeper than the usual heat, the usual burn of his gaze, almost gentle. Go change and meet me here in 15. Dress warm. You look through your suitcase and an outfit catches your eye. Warm enough for a hike in the snow, and sexy enough for a night out. Wanderlust. Enjoy some quality outdoor time and look good while doing it. Okay. You pull on the new outfit and admire yourself in the mirror. I'm ready for anything now. You sling your skates over your shoulder and saunter out of the room to meet Casey. As soon as you step outside, cool snowflakes snip at your face. You had that in your suitcase this whole time. His eyes widen, his gaze sweeps over you, admiration radiating off of him. I only bring it out for special occasions. I'd had planned more special occasions a lot earlier if I'd known. You toss your head and turn in a slow circle, showing off your outfit. Casey whistles appreciatively. His warmth grounds you as your boots crunch into the thick cloud of snow on the ground. Casey's sure-footed as he guides you through the trees. You wrap a hand around Casey's as you stumble on a tree root hidden beneath the snow. How can you tell where to step? I used to hike these trails all the time growing up. I won't let you fall. A gust of wind whips through your hair. You take a deep breath. Not cold, are you? You find yourself the warm winter outfit keeping the wind at bay. Just the opposite, in fact. I might need to remove some layers. I should expose some skin. Open my jacket. Teasingly, you slide your jacket open further, giving him a more tantalizing glimpse of the tight fit of your shirt. You planning to remove some layers? Because I'm definitely getting a little heated. I better stop here before you contribute to global warming. Well, we'll see if you feel that way once I get you a little worked up. As a wave of heat flushes through you, bringing your body heat to a low burn, Casey nods towards a break in the trees. Lake's just up ahead. Casey pushes aside a tree branch, and you gasp as you step out into the pristine, glistening lake at the foot of the mountainside. It's beautiful. The lake is a perfect stretch of solid ice, banked on all sides with snow and trees glimmering bright blue under the bright sky. This is where I used to practice. I grew up without a lot of opportunities other kids had, but my dad would always take me here. He taught me how to skate, how to hold a hockey stick. He taught me everything back then when things were good. He shrugs, feigning nonchalance, but you can see the hurt still there, deep underneath the surface. Without warning, you push him back on the stove, falling atop him. White crystals cling to his eyelashes as he gazes up at you. Casey, focus on me. Don't get lost in the past. You're in the present with me. You sink your hands into a snow on either side of Casey's head and lean down for a kiss. You hesitate right above him, your breath fogging in the air, eyes searching his. Don't keep me in suspense, Clark. With a grin, you press your mouth to his. You kiss him long and slow, running your tongue along his bottom lip. His mouth parts for you, letting you in, his grip pulling you flush against him. When you finally pull away, he looks dazed. You back with me yet? Hard not to be after a kiss like that. I'm not finished. You got his hand down your stomach in case he sucks in a breath. Not so fast. If you want more, you gotta earn it first. Your breath catches in your chest as his eyes snag on your lips, drinking in the skin of your neck peeking from your top. What did you have in mind? Meet me on the lake. I'll show you. You look out on the frozen water, imagining how hot and bothered Casey will look after a few laps around the lake. Go skating with Casey. Okay. Skating with Casey. You take Casey's hand, helping him up, and he leads you to a nearby log where you change into skates in Casey's backpack. I can't tell you the last time I skated here. Well, past time to make some new memories. I'll make sure it's a day you never forget. Jury's out. I'll let you know if you pull it off. Please do. You quickly finish tying off your skates and leap into the ice. But first, a kiss to hold me over. If you're going to withhold, I need a little something to get me through. He smirks as he finishes with his skates. He then jumps up to join you. He glides onto the ice with two long, graceful strokes of his legs and coming to stop just before you. Is that how we're starting this? Your answer is to grab the front of his shirt and drag his mouth to yours. You melt into him despite the chill in the air, the ice under your skates and the snow glittering in the air. You smile wickedly and begin skating backwards. There's more of that on the other side. You smirk, running your hands down your sides and over your ass. His gaze follows your hands with such a focus you can nearly feel his touch. Wait a second, maybe I've reconsidered. You slap your ass in reply and then take off, with Casey right behind you. The sounds of metal against ice and your heated breaths fill the air. Soon, his stride has matched yours and you're rushing for the other end of the lake. Cheater. Oh, don't fall for it next time. Your legs burn with the intensity of that last push of speed, and the snowbank rushes up before you. Watch out! Casey grabs the back of your clothes as he breaks, his strength once again saving you from certain disaster. You skid to a stop just before crashing into the snowbank, laughing and trying to catch your breath. Thanks, Jameson. Think I've earned the rest yet? I'd say so. Then it looks like you got a strip. I win. Oh no, I totally won. Show me that body of yours. The touch of his hand on your body reignites your desire for him, lighting the spark through every nerve ending. As much as I would love for us to both strip right here, right now, it's a bit too cold. Sounds like a sore loser to me. We can definitely do a few things without losing too many layers. He reaches out for your hand and gently pulls you to him before kissing you. Slow and deep despite the cold, you melt into his embrace. Oh, I like this idea. I'm just full of good ones. Your skates skid on the ice beneath you. You hold, but Casey holds you steady as you share another smoldering kiss. And maybe it's the adrenaline or the way you've wanted to touch him like this all day. But you can feel your need for him hot and insistent throbbing between your legs. Casey. In answer, his lips blaze a path down from your lips to your jaw and down your neck like a spark of fire against the cold nipping at your skin. Slide my hands under his jacket. Are you a little hot and bothered under all these layers? You tease your fingers under the edge of his jacket hem, and he hisses at the warm, icy skin of his stomach. Somehow I don't think you're trying to cool me off. The flannel of his clothing is soft, warm against your skin, but beneath his shirt his abs are chiseled and tense. With full access to Casey's sculpted body, you run your hands over his sides and up his chest. His breath hitches as you drag your fingers up his chiseled pecs, the muscles quivering beneath your touch. Cooled off yet? Not even a little. Casey groans and grips you by your hips, flushing them against his own. Can you feel how much I want you? His voice trembles over you and growls as his hands slide down your hips to cup your ass. I want you to. The heat from his body radiates into you, through you, inside you, as Casey's hand passes to the front of your pants. Casey's hand hovers just over the waistband of your pants. You can feel how much he wants to pull it down. You think maybe if we moved fast enough? Nope, not gonna risk it, not right before your big game. It's a shame, I would. If I had my way, I'd have you naked and under me in seconds. And you believe him, and realizing how close you are to realizing that fantasy. This man could ask me for anything and I just about say yes. Sounds like you need a cold shower before we head back. There's plenty of ice to go around. Then let's cool you off. You scoop up a handful of snow and press it against his heated skin. He lets out a gasp and a slow, relieved breath. I'll get you back for that tonight. You pull his head closer and kiss away the snow from his lashes. He rests his forehead against yours and you sigh. The warmth of his skin is a barrier against the cold. He looks thoughtful as he runs his fingertips up and down the nape of your neck. Thank you for bringing me out here and for letting me in. It's no big deal, Clark. His usual gruffness is soft. He can't quite conceal what this means for him. He can't hide the strangely bashful smile, the hope in his eyes when he meets yours. It's a huge deal. Now I'm part of the memory too. Getting to share this place that means so much to you. I don't take it lightly. For a moment you're both taking it all in. The crisp snow, the pines, the blue sky reflected on the glassy surface of the lake. Beside you, Casey's warmth is smoldering fire, warding off the cold, the beauty of his breath clouding in the air. It's better this way. Don't get me wrong, it's always been beautiful out here, but lonely. You turn to watch him, taking his hands in yours. You can almost see him watching his old self, practicing on the ice, well into sunset. But then he turns to you, and his smile's more blinding even than the snow, than the bright winter sun. And now I'm not so alone. Thrumming with fairly restrained desire for him, you finally pull Casey back to the bank. The way the light catches his eyes, the electric sizzle between you, and even when your bodies aren't touching, takes your breath away. You sprawl on your back on the ice and pull Casey down beside you. His face is inches from yours, his breath misting the air around you. You should coach me more often. Anytime. You can bet your ass I'll always be there. I can't figure out if I want to win or lose that bet. Just ask whenever you want to find out. Both laugh and the tension eases from his shoulders. He really can shake anything off if I'm there to help him. Ready to head back? Or we could grab some grub. Playing on an empty stomach is bad luck. Casey takes you to a local bar downtown, the mischievous light back in his eyes. Get ready for the best flowering onion and beer in town, no doubt about it. But as he leads you inside, his smile goes away, or gives way to a full-on glare. On second thought, it's looking a bit crowded. He follows glare to a corner booth in the back, where an older man sits in the shadows, nursing a beer. Is that your old man? Yeah, in all of his glory. I should have guessed he'd be here. Tentatively, you wrap your fingers around his, anchoring him in the moment. He looks down at you, some of the anger dissipating at your touch. This is your chance to... I wouldn't push walk out on him for once. No, let's do clear the air. Life is too short to hold on to grudges. Maybe he could come around. I'm not the one with the grudge. And then it's too late. Casey's dad pulls his gaze away from one of the TVs and spots you. Should have expected this. A time for your old man to come sweeping through here when your team forces you. Yeah, well, there isn't much else to come home to, is there? As they square off, you study the two generations of Jameson family, father versus son. Yep, I can see where he gets his chip on his shoulder. Is this who Casey would have turned into if he'd stayed here? Mr. Jameson, why don't we all take a breath? The elder Jameson cuts his glare over to you and instantly feel as chill as that deadening stare appraises you. Where Casey's glare is intense and brewing, there's nothing deeper to guess at what's behind his father's eyes. They're just rage. Maybe take some advice from the reporter, son. She certainly acts more like a captain than you. You don't watch my games, old man. Don't try to act like you know how I captain. You step between the two, blocking Casey's view of his father. This is not what I meant by take a breath. Let's step back. You could have been the captain of our team, and you sold out. Casey's shaking with pent-up anger, and instead of lashing out, he turns on his heel. It's too bad you can't see what the blades mean to me. But can't expect much from some washed-up, small-minded has-been. With that, Casey storms out of the bar, slamming the door so hard the bell rattles in his wake. Casey, wait. Mr. Jameson shakes his head again and turns back to his booth, dismissing you. Let him run, kid. It's all he'll ever do. This might be the only chance I have to defend Casey to his father. I can't let him get away with what he just said. And just maybe hearing the truth from someone else would help. You hesitate, torn between giving the old man a piece of your mind and defending Casey, or just walking out like Casey did. Okay, so there's 3 choices, but then we're only given 2. Okay. You square your shoulders and take one steadying breath. You slam a hand on Mr. Jameson's table, startling him. Hey, careful, you'll spill my beer. We're not done here. Listen here. Casey deserves love and support. You have a son who is one of the most respected players in the whole damn league. He deserves a father who supports his success. I don't support anyone who sells out. He's known that since he was a kid. So you get to define what a sellout is, based on your extremely biased hometown view. Same glimpse of shame flickers across Mr. Jameson's face. Well, you have to understand, we've always kinda butted heads. No, you don't say. For the first time, you notice dark circles shadow his eyes, and his clothes, while clean, look well worn. He looks tired. So, you want butting heads to turn into a full-on estrangement? Like hell I want that, it's just never been. I've had... You slide in the seat across from him, leveling the old man with your gaze. You want to know what I think? I assume you're going to tell me. I think you're lonely and miserable now. You think you could just show up and talk to me like this? It hurts because it's true, doesn't it? You've driven off everyone and everything good that you had. You're in a bar on a game night, alone in a booth, with no one to talk to except for me. I suppose I can see how someone might draw that conclusion. It isn't Casey's fault he had different ambitions than you. He isn't you. And I can get it. It can hurt. You can be disappointed. What you can't do is blame your son for your feelings. You own that yourself. Have you ever watched any of the Blades games, Mr. Jameson? He drains the rest of his beer, making you wait for an answer. More than you think. So, why don't you tell him? Why let him think you've turned your back on him? Because he won't talk to me. He ain't got no reason to. Maybe talking isn't what he needs right now. Maybe he needs you to show up for him. There's a game coming up. Sure, Casey isn't playing for the Polars, but he is the captain of the Blades. There will be a seat waiting for you if you want to see your son play hockey like the pro he is. If you want him to see you there cheering him on. He shifts uncomfortably in his seat, looking anywhere but right at you. Oh, I don't know. He wouldn't want me there. Sure, maybe not. Maybe it's been so long now that you're just scared to try and fix it. Mr. Jameson looks up, finally meeting your gaze head on. You see some recognition there. You've got spunk, kid. I'll give you that. I suppose I can try. Do that. Having said your piece, you leave Casey's father in the bar, duck outside, hoping that Casey hasn't gone too far. He's waiting for you outside on the sidewalk, face turned up to the falling snow. I thought I lost you back there. Where'd you go? I might have given your dad an earful. I told him how much he screwed up and dared him to make it up to you. Why would you go and do that? I care about you. I don't want to see you hurting, and he should know how much he's hurt you. What did he say? No promises, but I got the wheels turning. Maybe he'll come around sooner than you think. Casey gives your hands a squeeze, and his grip grounding and intense. No one has ever stood up for me like that. Not to my dad. Thank you. I've always got your back, remember? You notice his anger has dissipated a little. You wrap an arm around his waist. Let's go back to the hotel. There might be, not being any flowering onions, but I bet there's a bar. That night, you arrive at the Portland Stadium, just before the big game. On the ice, the players are already warming up, like any other game, but you glance around the stands looking for any sign of Casey's father. What's up with you? Expecting another surprise paparazzi attack? Not this time. I hoped Casey's dad might show. We ran into him last night. Oh, what of your special shots? You almost startle, checking Adisha's face for any hint that he knows what you and Casey are up to each other. But he's as easygoing as always. A feature with Casey's dad would kill in the ratings. I'm not sure that's in the cards. He's not exactly winning Dad of the Year anytime soon. Adish sobers for a moment, setting his camera as he chews on his next words. Do you think it'll affect the game tonight? Jameson can be unpredictable when things go wrong off the ice. The tight, anxious feeling in your chest coils a little tighter. I guess we'll find out. Ready then? We roll in 3, 2, 1. This is the moment fans have been waiting for. Is here. Casey Jameson is back. This time last year, a dramatic showdown between Blades and the Polars called the fate of our favorite hockey team into question. The fight that got Jameson suspended also preluded a string of losses for the Blades. But now, will the Polars defend their home turf? The Blades have been upping their game, with Coach Ross really pushing his players to excel. But that isn't a guarantee against the Polars. Everyone is working hard and playing harder, so we'll have to see if it's enough to bag the victory tonight. Will this be the victory the Blades need, or will we see another repeat of last year? Deesh gives you a thumbs up and stops rolling. Nearby, Coach has gathered the players for his final directions before the game. Okay, Jameson, I'm putting you back on first line. Don't mess it up. Got it, Coach. I'll be there when you choke, Jameson. Casey ignores Brent as the others rush into the ice. With a roar, he lingers behind, looking back at you. This is it. Casey, you've got this. Show Brent how a real star delivers. Lau has nothing going for him, just an overinflated ego. It's a miracle his helmet ever fits. Tonight, he won't need it. You're back on first line. It's time to remind him why you belong there. And just as you're about to send Casey off, a flash of red catches your eye. One last thing. You turn Casey's gaze to an older man in the crowd, grizzled but smiling, waving a foam finger. He's wearing my clothes. I needed a second. Hell yeah, he is. Kick some ass, Casey! Go Blades! You watch something like a wonder bloom on his face. First you think it's for his father, but then he turns his gaze to you. You did that. You got through to him. You're something else, Clark. I just gave him a little nudge. Casey leans close to you, heat radiating off of him. His jersey, and you really wish you were in the locker room instead of so you could properly celebrate. It would be so easy to pull his face down to yours and drink him in with a kiss. If there weren't thousands of fans watching right now, I'd kiss the hell out of you. I'll remember that for tonight. With a wink, so quick you almost miss it, Casey skates off to take his place on the ice, crouched and ready. The game begins. It's a nail-biting match from the first play, a whirlwind of blue and red battling out on the ice. Hells has met her match with a polar defender who keeps blocking her passes to Casey. Get lost. Getting flustered, little lady. What the hell are you? Meanwhile... Oh, I needed to turn my frown upside down. The opposing goalie is lightning fast, diving for Casey slap shots with surprising speed. Not on my watch. We'll see. Casey manages to score, but it takes a whole period to pull it off. Back on the blade side of the ice, Lebrowski struggles to deter the relentless shots of Bobby, the polar forward, with a rage problem. That's for the polars. Whoa, man, chill. Tension builds as the clock ticks away in the third and final period. Both team ties with a single goal. This is too close for my liking. It's anyone's game. As Casey lines up under the goal, the opposing forward hooks his hockey stick under Casey's skates, sending him sprawling. Minor penalty! Hells pulls Casey back up, but before the ref can skate close, the opposing forward shoves Casey in the chest. Too good to fight me this year? Think you could brush me off? You hold your breath as Casey's fiery gaze locks with the other forwards. Show us who you really are. You're just some angry kid from Portland like the rest of us. In the stands, Casey's dad roars with an agitated crowd. Walk away, Casey! He's not worth it! Casey looks up, locks eyes with his dad in the stands. His whole posture changes as the whole meaning of the word sinks in. Bobby, I could kick your ass to Seattle and back for every ounce of BS you've put me through. Casey reaches out and you brace for the punch, the media firestorm in the making. But I won't. Simply claps Bobby on the shoulder, and then he does the impossible. Casey Jameson walks away from a fight. Oh, yeah, no, I got something to say at the end of this. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description. Plenty of ways to support, things to check out, and hey, consider joining our Discord server. Well, with that being said, here we go. Oh, so I definitely feel how Casey feels, and that's some of your rage monster that's inside of him, right? Is because of his dad, because of, you know, the things and that they've dealt with or you know, whatnot. And kind of brought a little emotion to my throat and my eyes during this, because just TLDR, I never grew up with a father. My father never gave a crap about me. If anything, he actually tried to end me very early when I was a baby. And then my mother was never there for my upbringing, and then my upbringing was very bad. So, I would have given anything for anyone to be in the stands there for me. And, the one person in my life that was kind of like our MC for Casey, yeah, no, they have a way of making you drop the shell, the guard, the other things that aren't you or that cloud you from being you. And, you know, unfortunately, when you lose a person like that, you know, I guess you change inside. And then part of me experiencing that, but not wanting to change into this person that pretty much I should be, but I don't want to be. I guess keeps searching through the clouds, the darkness, whatever have you, for other people that might bring a light to you and want you in their lives and vice versa. So I definitely understand where Casey is. So let me know if you guys in the comment section below understand that, or at least can understand what is being conveyed. But otherwise, good job, Pixelberry, on at least that. Typically, there's a lot of parental issues through these books that are either never really resolved or they're really crappy and get worse, if anything. But aside from that, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.